Hello, Gazer Kaiju here. I haven't done one of these quick review roundups in a while, so there is plenty to talk about. Today I'm going to be talking about Friday the 13th, The Orphan, The New Mutants, Blood Rage, The Oily Maniac, Castle Freak 2020, Freaky, The Seventh Voyage of Sinbad, and Violence Voyager. Friday the 13th, The Orphan. This movie predates Friday the 13th and doesn't get talked about much because, well, it's not good. It's plagued with terrible cuts, overdubbing that doesn't make sense. Most of the movie works against it, and there's not even any real standout scenes to make up for any of it. At the very least, a couple of the humorous scenes actually were humorous. 1 out of 5. The New Mutants. I've been waiting to watch this movie for a long time, not because I read the comics, but because a horror superhero movie sounds very interesting to me, and for at least part of its promotion, that's what it was promoted as. The New Mutants is okay, not even in the worst few X-Men movies. It's not scary though, creepy at times, the smiley guys at the very least. There's a giant bear who is part shadow and he looks cool. The guy from Stranger Things' accent is a bit much, but the 7 whole actors featured in this film do well. 3.5 out of 5. Blood Rage. That is not cranberry sauce. The music in this Thanksgiving slasher are jams, and I like the killer. 4 out of 5. The Oily Maniac. I won't say that he looks good, but the Oily Maniac himself also doesn't look terrible. Exposed pulsating heart was a nice touch. How he maneuvers when he's not in his bulky humanoid state is what I really enjoy. Sliding across the ground as a puddle or coming in through the bathtub faucet. It's mostly vigilante justice, but there's also some other kills. Movie is a bit too rapey for me. Thankfully nothing too graphic, but we see men chase girl, struggle, shirt ripped open like 4 times here, and 2 of those are accompanied by sucker punching her out of consciousness. As a whole, the movie is okay, memorable at the very least. 3 out of 5. Castle Freak 2020. It's a bit slow at times, really starts going at the hour-and-a-half mark. The story has changed enough to accommodate a group of friends instead of a family. The freak has been gender swapped, I think, which allows for some scenes where she gets castle freaky. It made me wildly uncomfortable in ways the original didn't, and honestly, I think that's a great pro for the film. There's some other great ideas that made me audibly say, what the fuck, but again, in the best way possible. Other than the slower burn, my only other real con is the professor's acting. Even with his character being a nerdy, monotone outcast, his performance still feels flat and out of place alongside everyone else's. More monsters is almost always a plus in my book. I was kinda sad the movie just ends without a real conclusion to the universe's narrative. I'd certainly recommend Castle Freak 2020, but I'd still prefer the original. 3.5 out of 5. Freaky 2020. This is one of those movies where a character is treated as if they're hideous, even though they'd be extremely wanted if put into any actual high school. It also asks for a lot more suspension of disbelief, but if you just go with the flow, it's enjoyable enough, especially in the dry spell of movies that was 2020. 3.5 out of 5. The Seventh Voyage of Sinbad. The story seems to be written a little odd to me. I liked characters sometimes, and other times I thought they were annoying. What makes this movie stand out to me is the effects. The stop motion for sure, but also the projection work is also very well done. The monsters are imaginative. There's even a dragon versus Cyclops battle. Also want to give props to the monster designs, best Cyclops design I've seen, and the 2-headed bird is fantastic. 3.5 out of 5. Violence Voyager. I love the style with the paper backgrounds and characters, but with real liquids and fire. I also love the main story ideas and designs, but for some reason the movie just seemed so much longer than its actual runtime. I kept wanting it to end, but I also was so curious to how it would wrap up I just had to keep watching. 3 out of 5. Thanks for watching.